Hey guys, we're in the car warehouse today. Just thought I'd show you kind of the classroom. This is where we actually have our CEO life school mentoring classes. We just hold them right here, right in the middle of the car garage. It's kind of a nice place to do it. You can see over here we got a little coffee station, a little fridge, some snacks can go in there. It's really didn't have much else I wanted to show you. I just thought I'd show you that we actually do have a classroom built in. There's the McLaren 720. There's the classic car section, 65 Mustang, 70 Chevelle. And this is clearly not a classic, but the Maserati. So right in the corner here is the cellar. So I think we'll just go ahead and walk around and show it to you now. Finally got everything in one place. So we sort of have an extras table, supply table. So I'll just take you through it. A couple of travel cigar humidors, travel pouches, filters. I don't smoke filtered pipes, but when I thought I was going to, I got some nice big cigar ashtray. You can never have too many pipe cleaners. You can never have too many Bovita packs. There's the mouthwash, the cleaning solutions. A couple of you guys mentioned sealing some of the canisters or tins, so I use parafilm to do that, and we'll show you that in a little bit. A little extra lighter fluid, olive oil for polishing, liquor for the cleaning solutions, some pocket tins, my lavalier mic box. Here's a bunch of pipes. We won't go over them all right now. I'm pretty sure I bought this one from Beans 316. These I all got from CJ. So Jim, here are all yours. The only one that's missing is the old 1930 alligator, but my daughter wanted to look at it, so it's not here yet. You guys are wondering if I had other pipes. So there's a tunnel take pipe if I've ever seen one. I got a little corncob section. And I got a Peterson section, and I'll go over all those. And I've got an Escorti, and we'll see. Got a Falcon hiding back in there. So there's sort of the a lot of you guys are asking me if I had pipes, and I've probably got there's probably 30 sitting there. And then I've got a bunch of jars waiting. So these are my pound jars. These things put a pound each in. And then I've got some extras. See, these are my everyday. These are my rotation jars, the pint jars. And then for a while I thought I was going to use half pints, but they're almost too small. They're almost annoying, so I don't use those anymore. All right, so we'll move on to the tin table. So these are all, pretty much all my tins that I have are stored on this table. I'll go kind of slowly through them so you guys can see them. Pretty much most of them you can see. It's autumn evening, Manhattan afternoon, gentleman caller. So this I've been teaching you guys I do 10 tins. So that's pretty much what you see here. This is the back side of the 10 tins. One goes in these jars, and then 9 goes on the table. When you guys was telling me I should try Silence Black, and look at that, there's 10 tins of Silent Black sitting here. Some Quiet Night back there. There's the corncob pipe and button nose and Maltese Falcon. Some Solani Burley Flake. I was only able to get about 4 of those. They're still impossible to find. Kringle Cake Flake. The Virginia Flake number 14, Warhorse Green, University Flake, Nightcap, Rustica, Squadron Leader, the Virginia Robert McConnell Folded Flake, a bunch of Cult Blood Red Moon, Cobblestone Hiking, Cobblestone Kentucky Plug, Presbyterian, My Mixture 965, Early Morning Pipe. I got a couple, like they sent me this thing for when I bought something, they stuck it in the box. Don't really know what to think of it. This one too, okay, came in a box. Let's see, we got Mississippi Mud, The Beast, First Amendment, and then we got a bunch of plum pudding, and this is that barrel age, so it's actually got a piece of barrel in it. You can kind of hear it. It's actually got a piece of aged barrel in the tin. Plum pudding, Mississippi River, Carolina Red Flake, 3P, Peterson's Perfect Plug. I think that's really it. So that is the tin table. And then we have that pretty much right next to the pipes and supply table. The next thing we'll do is the jar table. There's 47 pounds sitting on here, not counting these daily jars. So the pounder jars, there's 47 of them. And we'll get up close and go slow. So Old Dark Fired Ready Rub. That's Pennsylvania Dutch, Treat, Captain Black Dark, Smoker's Pride, Vanilla Cavendish. There's Cade's Cove Cavendish. There's the Tinderbox Philosopher. Ken's Burley Morning, Ken Byron Ventures Burley Morning Pipe. There's 2 pounds of that. Rat Raised Howl of the Wind, Bold Kentucky, Balkan Blend. There's 2 pounds of that. That was a mistake on my part. H.H. Pure Virginia, Old Dark Fired, Golden Extra. Don't know which this is, by the way. Not sure what's in that jar. There's your Black Twist, Premium Burley, Vanilla Custard, Old Toby, Ruins of Windsor, Tidewater, Shepherd's Pie, Rivendell, Seersucker, Pegasus, Haunted Bookshop, Quiet Nights, Mississippi Mud, Arrowhead, Apricots and Cream, Brown Irish X. And then we've got about 15 aromatics from Boswell's, all in their jars, but it makes it nice. You can easily see from the top of the jar what's in these. Not really sure what else to show you there, but that is the jar table. And then this came from my desk. I think Jocks was calling it my tobacco corner, but these were all at the corner of my desk. These are all part of my daily rotation, and there's got to be there's probably 30 of them here. It's too many, so I left 8 at home, and I'll rotate these in now and then. And homage to my dad, half and half. Buttered rum. I bought this from my local shop, my local brick and mortar. It's not all that great, but I got one there. And this is from my Wyoming shop, Tobacco Row. That was the first thing I ever bought from him. I now own all 10 of his brands, but this was the first one I bought, so it's a little bit meaningful to me. All right, there you go. So there is the jar table, there is the tin table, and there is the supply table and the pipes. So the last piece we'll do here is the cigars. There's far less cigars. Here are the Les Bouchons that just came in the other day. Those are the ones I heard about from Uncle Willie. And then I've got these 6 really just Walmart plastic sealing jars. You know, they just unseal and open. And I've got a number from 2 through 7. I'll show you why in a minute. Number 1 is the humidor. I have a nice cherry, small desktop humidor, and that is humidor number 1. They all have different brands inside. Cohiba Black. This is Charter Oak, Broadleaf, and then the Charter Oak Connecticut Shade, Partagas Blacks. There's a bit of a mix in each of them. Each one has their own Bovita packs in there, and each one, let's see if I can find one for you. See this little blue square with the green writing? That is a Wi-Fi sensor. and it senses the humidity and temperature inside of each of these. And then you read it on the app, so I don't have to worry about, do I need a new Belvita pack or not? I just look and I'll show you a picture of what it looks like here in a minute. So there is the cigar lounge. Cigars, jars, tins, accoutrements. And that's it. That is it for the Maryland Cellar. The Wyoming Cellar isn't quite this extensive, but it's not too far off. Okay, guys, this is my lighter array. A couple of you asked me about them, so I'm just going to show you. This has been my go-to for a long time, just your absolute basic Bic lighter. I think they're $1. I buy them in the 5 and 10 packs. I'm starting to switch to this, the Bic long stem. This one's almost out, but I like that it reaches, and it has about the same wind resistance as this guy. I don't think they have flame controls anymore. No more bigger, smaller flames. But this has been my go-to, and you've seen it in most of my videos. But I am switching when I can. I just switch to these. I buy these in the 5 and 10 packs now as well, and I actually have more of these in stock than I do these. Those are the basics. My torches. This is my go-to torch. I've had this thing 20 years. It is a triple torch. Works awesome. It does have, so it's got a filler valve and an up and down valve. The same thing. That outer ring makes the flames larger and smaller, and the inner ring is the fill. I fill it with this. I'm sure you've all done it. You know exactly how to do it. Just goes right down there. 10, 20 seconds, 2, 3 of those, and it is full. I just did it, so I'm not going to overfill it. But there you go. That is my go-to cigar lighter. Man, this thing is, I can't tell how many golf courses this thing has been on with me. But my boys gave me this one, so I keep it with me. It is another triple. Obviously, I have it turned up a little bit higher. You can see the fuel level, so it's actually probably more convenient than my nice one. But this one works great. This is a Vertigo. Plastic, super light. So there's that one. And then my recent go-tos have been these guys, the I Am Coronas. You've been seeing the black one. I actually left it at home, but I brought this one with me. I actually love this thing. It just flips up. And it's just a side strike. And we're indoors, so this is perfect. I love this thing, man. It'll bring it down, especially as you draw on it. Like, I have it set fairly high because I like a larger flame. Same thing, I've got these things on fingernail tight, so I just take this screw out. This is the filler cap screw. I literally just keep it so I can do it with my fingernail so I don't over tighten it. There it is, it's out for you. The flame height adjustment is same thing, it's right there. And it is finger tight. And then this thing also has something I never use. It's got a built-in tamper. I don't use it. But just so you know, they are there. These are relatively expensive in my opinion. The silver ones run about $120. The black ones $140 to $160. But I like them a lot. They've been pretty durable. I've dropped them. I've taken them everywhere. They're just not very wind durable. So as nice as they are, I don't like using them in any sort of breeze or wind. And guys, that's really it. That is the end of my lighter review. All right, guys. The next thing we're gonna try one of these Les Bouchons that Uncle Willie's made us aware of. So you open it up, you pull this thing off of here, and you got 10 of them sitting in here. Pull one out. Put this back, get it out of the way. All right, Uncle Willie says You wet this down, I'm pretty sure, so it seats better. It's like crinkled dry. It's like crackling dry, but I think I'm gonna get this wet and then I'm gonna put it back in there and then we'll make the X. All right, that bad boy's wet. And he goes nice and tight. That's in there good. All right, so the next thing he said to do is make an X across the top. And I didn't bring a knife, so luckily I'm in my car shop, so I've got this X-Acto. We'll see how sharp it is. Boy, that is dry, dry, dry. All right, there's our X. There, I'll bring you up to me now that we're gonna light it. So let's light this thing. Let's light this candle. So far, so good. It's the craziest shit I've ever done in a pipe. Look at this thing. It's like an ice cream cone or something sticking out of there. Anyway, it X'd well. It lit well. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Well, guys, this is what I'm going to smoke while I'm with you. So I'm going to shut this down and we'll move over and we'll have a chat. And I don't even know what about, to be honest. All right, guys, I'm going to take you from my little workstation here. We're going to go sit down. So, being a professional show-off, thought we'd sit in front of the McLaren today. You can put one of the doors up for you, and that's working the show-off, huh? Anyway, it's a beautiful car. Like I told you before, it's like a spaceship more than a car. If we're gonna do the show-off thing, let's just do it right. Oh, now I can hear you. You want to see both doors up. That's what everybody says, so let's do it. This is what everybody likes to see. I like to see both doors up. All right, let's go. We'll take a quick look back inside. We'll sit down and have a chat. This thing is bad news. It's one of the baddest machines I've ever owned. All right, let's have a seat and have a chat. All right, guys, how's that for show-off mode? Okay, smoking a cigar in my pipe is freaking me out a little bit, but it's pretty good, actually. It definitely tastes like a cigar, not like a pipe tobacco. All right, guys, got my lapel mic on now, so. Hey, so I'm gonna take Uncle Willie's advice, and I took some smoking one. 5 went into those cigar humidor jars that I just showed you, and I'm gonna leave 4 in the box. We'll just kind of see how that plays out over the next few weeks. If these dry out too much, I'll rehab them. You know, rehabbing these things is actually pretty easy. All right, Maryland Cellar, Les Bouchon cigar, pipe cigar. What am I drinking today? Sugar-free Red Bull, because that's what was in the fridge over there. Not necessarily my first choice, but I'll drink a Red Bull now and then. Not sure it tastes good, not sure it tastes bad. All right, looks like while I was off doing stuff, This cigar needs a touch-up light. All right, we're off and rolling again. All right, guys, I'm just going to enjoy this for a minute, and I'll come right back. Well, I'm about 5-10 minutes in on this, and I have to say it's pretty good. I have to put it in more the novelty category more than anything. I don't know why it's any better to smoke a cigar in my pipe than just hold it. Yeah, I don't know how many of these I would do. I mean, I've got a box of 10 and I'll keep them in good shape. I don't know if I'll smoke 10 and then never buy them again or keep some around. I just don't know. Anyway, but for the first one, you guys have been with me on a lot of firsts. Almost every time I try a first tobacco, you're with me. This is pretty much my first video from sitting in the car warehouse. So we're only like 35 days from my first video. I don't know if you guys realize that. November 6th. I just looked it up last night. November 6th was my first video, that introduction video. You know, I feel like we've come a long ways in those 30 days or 35 days. And I think it's my vid number 30 or 31 today. So I think it's 31 or 32, counting the one I did making fun, or, you know, the one that Greg asked us to do. So guys, what should we talk about today? This is another day where I thought this thing would be long enough with me showing you the cellar, showing off the McLaren again, and then showing you the lighters, and then showing you the Les Bouchons. So I don't really have too much. I'm not going to read to you. I'm not going to lecture you. I'm not going to give you a sermon out of the Bible again. I did, by the way, finish the Bible this morning. I wanted to finish it by the year end because I want to start the third reading January 1st. I've never started a year-long reading plan on January 1st, so I wanted to get that done and be ready for it. So we're ready a few days early. Not sure I'm going to read tomorrow. Revelation is a trip. It's pretty hard to believe, to be honest. You know, I'm not saying John lied about what he was shown. I'm not saying that what God showed him can't happen, but boy, it sure does seem like fantasy or surreal. So the only thing I can think of that I wanted to impart today and really have a conversation about was opinions, positions. I started to form this thought talking to my mother-in-law over the last year or two. My mother-in-law's filter has pretty much degraded to none. So the filter between what happens in her brain and what comes out of her mouth is pretty much non-existent. So whatever happens up here just flows straight out, and boy, that can cause some interesting, uncomfortable, freaky moments. And I know as my wife ages, my wife is 58, that she is on that path of feeling like she has to have an opinion on everything, and more importantly, expressing that opinion on everything. My mother-in-law is way out in front of her on it, but my wife's running to catch up. And I notice a lot of presenters in the YTPC have a lot of opinions about everything. And I thought I would talk about that today because I think we are well served to really ponder if an opinion on subject X is helpful to anybody, to yourself, to your family, to your spouse, to the thing you're having an opinion about, to your city, community, state, country, to the world. Is having this opinion helpful to anyone? Is it serving any purpose? And then the second, probably way more important thing to ponder is, do I need to express my opinion? Does it help me or anyone else to express it? And maybe it does. Opinions start good conversations. They start other thought processes. They're not all bad. So not all opinions are bad, and we don't need an opinion on all subjects. So I thought some thinking criteria. If it's not happening to you or anyone around you, why have an opinion about it? If it's a negative thing and a negative opinion, maybe think, I'll find a subject I like and something I wish to express positive thoughts about. I'm worried the offensometer is not at 0 on this one. I don't mean to offend any one person on this, but we tend to have a lot of opinions, and they tend to be very negative about very negative subjects, and the opinion seems to be dark. And sometimes the video, when I'm done watching it, wasn't very uplifting and didn't make me feel good to watch it, which is not your intent. I get that. It's not my point. My point is we just want to try to really make sure that was what we meant to do, and that we avoid making that the majority of our output to the world, is sort of opinions about bad things that produce more negativity in the world. Well, for a guy who started this video by saying I didn't really have anything that I was ready to talk about, I sure came up with a weird one, didn't I? Okay, this smokes pretty well. Smokes pretty smooth, tastes pretty good, burns fairly well. I've had to touch it up. It's a weird thing to touch up. You got to touch it up on the side, sideways. But you do have to kind of maintain its burn pattern like you would a regular cigar. But it's pretty easy to do. I'd have to give this thing like a 7 so far, to be honest. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. It's another long one. Shoot, it's going to be 30 minutes by the time I get you out of here. But I'm at the end of this thing. It kind of looks like it's done, in my opinion. It started to taste a little bitter. It started to get gurgly down here. So I'm done. This is what it looks like when we're all done with it. I just wanted to show it to you at the end. Again, I stay with my 7. It was a good one. I really did enjoy it. It's probably a 30-minute smoke, maybe not even quite 30 minutes, but it was tasty. But when it gets down to here, in my opinion, it's over. It stopped tasting good, so I'm going to be done with it. Guys, that's it. Gosh, what is it? Oh, thank God it's Tuesday. And that's kind of it for the video. I'm going to say goodbye. Hopefully Tuesday was good for you. Hopefully you're having a good week. And hopefully the holidays coming up is a good thing for you. And hopefully we talk again tomorrow on Wednesday. Bye, you guys.